So, Representative Hausman, I want to talk about your housing issue. We talked a little bit about it before the program began, and I'd like to have you address your concerns about that, what you think the legislature should do about it, and maybe also fold into this conversation an industry group study that was announced, I think, within the last few weeks that reflected on the mandates and requirements and fees and charges that municipalities and other places place on housing as a reason for increasing costs.
And there was a counterpoint to that by a number of mayors. The cities have a very different perspective of that.
There are two sides to the issue. There's no doubt. Maybe more than two sides.
Nothing else in life goes well if you don't have a safe place to sleep at night. And so once you can establish that, maybe you can start working on other issues. The governor at one point said, it's time for us to have a task force and we're going to take a look at this. And they came up, I've carried this around, so.
This is your visual aid, folks.
This is
as close as we get to a visual aid.
6 broad goals. Commit to homes as a priority. That's the first thing. Preserve the homes we have, especially those that are most affordable. Build more homes across all types and prices and locations. Increase home stability, and this is people losing their homes because of rent increases, evictions, those kinds of burdens. And then the link homes and services, and this is a model that we have discovered through our nonprofits that we partner with, is a very successful model. We build the home, and then those nonprofits agree to provide all the supportive services around it. And then we can bring a life to a better place. We just don't want to shelter people. We really want to bring them to a better place. Everyone I've met wants eventually to stabilize their life and go to work. And then finally, support and strengthen home ownership. Now, the thing you reference was brought particularly by the builders. So my committee had one hearing just on that, and we got the broad range of perspectives. What cities talk about, because we talk about regulations, fees, codes, etc. For example, if a developer is going to develop a portion of the city, ultimately you have to have water and sewer there. So the question is, do fees on those new homes pay for it, or do all the taxpayers in the town pay for it? I mean, that's the kind of tension there is around those particular issues. When they reported on that study, the newspaper, maybe it was a misquote, but it said, so if we just did that, if we just got rid of regulations, codes, and fees, then we could have affordable housing. That, even the debate in committee showed that was only when we talked about homes that are roughly 350,000 to $1 million. What we're talking about with the homelessness issue is a whole other thing, and that is all over the state. Seniors, those with disabilities, those who make $16,000, who simply cannot afford the kind of housing that's out there. So there's a group called Prosperity's Front Door, so that this study doesn't just sit on a shelf. There is a group that's saying we're going to carry this forward. And they do look at lower costs, but they say we've got to innovate. How we build homes has to change, and we all have to be on board. It does have to be government at all levels. It does have to be philanthropy. It does have to be the private sector. The business community understands this in a major way. The head of the Minneapolis Chamber said, we have come to understand that housing is an essential part of our economic infrastructure. That is a general understanding on the part of the business community. So there's a study that gives us some indication of why it's a crisis now. This comes from Warren Hansen, who's the head of the Greater Minnesota Housing Fund, that the cost of housing is rising faster than incomes. Over the past 20 years, wages have gone up 3%, home prices have gone up 47%. For rents, incomes have gone up 3%, rents have increased by 38%. So the cost of housing is rising faster than income.
Representative Torkelson, very quickly, housing issues.
Well, certainly it's a complicated issue, but regulation does have a piece to play. We've driven up the cost of building these higher than they should be, I think, in some cases. You know, we want to use the funds that we do dedicate to this work as efficiently as we can, and that means building houses that are affordable, not only to live in, but affordable to build.
So
Less
the governor
than
has
seconds, yeah.
a pretty a good proposal that I think Alice is probably pretty happy with. I'm not sure with the governor's
I want
housing.
more.
Yeah, happy-ish. I focus a lot on homeless youth issues, and these are young people who are disconnected from their families from about age 13 on up to about 22. And it's a unique population to serve. Our primary focus, of course, is family reunification. If that's not possible, then getting them what they need that they would otherwise get from their families: love, support, how to live, how to be successful, housing, health care, education, all those things. And it's been a tough nut to crack. And we've got about 6,000 of these kids on any given night in Minnesota.
Complicated issue. We're going to have some more,
It's complicated.
more opportunity to discuss it. I want to thank our panel for a great program this evening. I want to thank our viewers for joining us. I want to invite you to come back each week until the legislature goes home. Thank you and good night.